23. Allocate and designate. Conserve.
This new approach increases biological diversity by conserving the wildflowers, birds, and other animals that live on the land.
Conservation.
We are holding an event to raise funds for local environmental conservation.
Conservative.
One newspaper is generally liberal and the second is conservative.
Petition.
Since you accepted our petition, the bus company has started the service to the front door of our apartment complex.
Inquire.
He used reason to inquire into the nature of the universe.
Inquiry.
In much of scientific inquiry, there are no right or wrong answers.
Status.
This is a reply to your inquiry about the shipment status of the desk you purchased on September 26th. These goods are strange because demand for them increases as their price rises. According to economists, these goods must signal high status.
Allocate.
You allocate the time periods to study each subject, to eat meals, to engage in athletic events, to socialize with friends, and so forth.
Designate.
She reached out to friends and asked them if they could spare $100. If so, they were to bring their contribution to a restaurant downtown at a designated time.
Hierarchy.
In many cultures, people are not viewed as equals, and everyone has a clearly defined or allocated place in the social hierarchy.
Hierarchical.
Topics build on one another in a hierarchical fashion, so that a learner must master one topic before moving to the next.
Biblical.
There are so many popular proverbs from classical, biblical, and medieval times current in various cultures that it would be foolish to think of them as showing some national character.
Medieval.
In European history, the Middle Ages, or medieval period, lasted from the 5th to the 15th century.
Regulate.
Emotions are often seen as something to be regulated or managed.
Regulation.
Only 0.1% of all layoffs in the United States are due to government regulations.
Layoff.
The economic crisis has led to massive layoffs in the car industry.
Legislation.
The TV advertisements tried to sell sugared food, which would cause health problems. This led to calls for legislation to regulate advertising.
Legitimate.
If you receive a request for any information regarding a former employee, do not provide any information. Pass the inquiry to Human Resources. Human Resources will determine whether such inquiry is for legitimate reasons.
Autonomous.
People living in Tibet and Inner Mongolia autonomous regions follow the tea culture system in which they drink tea with milk.
Utilitarian.
Autonomous or driverless vehicles should be programmed to be utilitarian and to minimize harm to pedestrians.
Induce.
We try to induce our neighbors to help out with a neighborhood party. Human-induced greenhouse gases are changing the climate and warming the oceans.
Administer.
After punishment has been administered a few times, it needn't be continued because the mere threat of punishment is enough to induce the desired behavior.
Administration.
He is an economic historian whose work has centered on the study of business administration.
Abolish.
He became a member of the Chamber Orchestra of Oldenburg, where he played until the orchestra was abolished in 1811.
Abolition.
They are demanding the abolition of the death penalty.
Entail.
Large sections of the working classes are barred from entering skilled professions because they entail many years of education and training.
Conduct. Conduct.
The researchers at the U.S. Army conducted a study of motorcycle accidents. President William Taft conducted the opening on September 23, 1909, pressing the switch that released the first water. The technology can be used to coordinate socially unacceptable or criminal conduct.
Conductor.
His debut as a violinist came in 1819, and by 1828 he was made conductor of the musical Lyceum. Dr. Einstein once boarded a train from Philadelphia. The conductor came around to check the tickets and said, "Ticket, please."
Embed.
Science is not conducted in a vacuum. It is embedded within a social fabric, and science and society influence one another.
Entitle.
The workers are entitled to have paid holidays for 6 weeks every year.
Entitlement.
Workers demanded new laws that should limit the hours of work and give them holiday entitlements.
Headquarters.
I would like to express sincere appreciation to Davis Construction Company for successfully completing the reconstruction of our headquarters building, which was destroyed by fire last year.